Hi, this is Ed from East West Bushcraft. I'm out today doing a walk. We're going to make a cappuccino, do some plant identification, enjoy the views and make ourselves a little container out of burdock. Hope you enjoy. The river's all frozen. It was freezing last night, which is probably one of the first times in a while. It did freeze a little while back, but tonight it's going to get even colder to -6. It's been a long time since I've seen that river frozen. Still some rose hips hanging about on the trees, and they make a fantastic winter vitamin C drink. I've done a video on it if you want to see it, but yeah, it's nice to see them still about in January. Hopefully they'll stay around a bit longer, and we can continue making some teas out in the bush with them. Pendulous sedge. This is a fantastic bushcraft resource. I'll show you more about pendulous sedge in the future, especially when the seeds are in season, so we'll get back to that one. This is a plant we should be wary of. It's poison hemlock. Well, I believe it to be poison hemlock because I can see some blotching. It could look a bit like hogweed because it's got its umbrella things, and the seeds are kind of large. They're not very large on these ones, but this is a poisonous plant, so don't be eating things that you don't know. There's hawthorn still on the tree. I'm not overly surprised, but some of them are usually gone by now. But obviously some of the late ones will still be around, and they've been frozen now, so hawthorn's great for making fruit leather. I've done it before on the old zebra billy tin, and yeah, it tastes okay. What I would like to do is experiment in the future and mix it with some other things and see how it goes. So this is a blackthorn bush, and it's got loads of sloes in it. You can tell it's blackthorn because it's got these big spikes on it. If it didn't have the spikes on it, yet it had the same or very similar looking fruit on it, you could assume it's Bullis plums. This is blackthorn, and these are called sloes. You can make really nice sloe gin out of them. I think I used to make it and give it as a Christmas present to my mum. Yeah, there's more blackthorn over there. You might not be able to see it, but I can see the sloes hanging off the tree. One of the things that I've always kind of loved doing is going for a walk. And what I do now is I go for a walk and I just identify things as I go. And what I do is I'll just walk along and I look at things and I go, what is that? And I learn about it. Or I practice and I get to see things in different seasons. It's a great way of practicing that identification side of bushcraft. So just go for a walk, even if you're walking your dog, and just look down and see the little plants. A lot of things will be, you might deem as useless, but it's a great way of identifying and learning things. And that way you can just gain a deeper understanding of what's around you. So for example, just walking along and I'm finding things like yarrow and ribwort plantains and stuff like that, and all really good things for burns and cuts. So it's good to see these in their different seasons when they're really small and they're young and just popped out the ground too when they're dying back as well. It really helps you identify them. Look how lethal these look. So this is great for making fires with. You've got your flash tinder stuff there, and you've got all these dead dry leaves. You can kind of make a big bundle of, kind of blow embers into flame and spark it, stuff like that. It's such good tinder. We call that the common reed, and things like that are so useful. I'm really surprised they're not used in bushcraft more often, because you can do so much thatching with them. We've used them as a species for tens of thousands of years or more, and it's only recently we've kind of stopped using them. Teasel. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up just over here. I'm going to make myself a brew. I've got a spirit burner and some methylated spirits, not the crystals, and my canteen with a little stove burner top thing, so I can sit here and make ourselves a little brew. That's an overflow offshoot, so when it rains too much, or if there's a ton of snow and it melts, if that ever happens, so the bank's overflowing, it can relieve the river a bit and float into this side river. Get a brew on and enjoy yourself a nice cappuccino, I think. Set myself up on this bank in front of this little overflow stream. Behind that is the main river. Oh, it's got a little bit left in there, but we'll top it up. Burns with a nice blue flame. It can get bigger and you can start seeing it, but it might not look like it's lit, but that is lit. Measurements on the inside of the can so I can see how much is in there roughly. Only goes up to 500ml, so I know it's around 400ml. We'll wait for that to boil and then we'll turn it into a cappuccino. So even while we're sitting, we can just like identify things, thistles and young stinging nettles near me and burdock burls on the floor. It's all good to always keep looking and keep practicing. Like, you can't let your skills stagnate, you know. So I can only recommend to everyone that you just go on a walk and just like look around and identify things, retest yourself. This is the cappuccino mix I've been using. I've been loving it. Yeah, you pour it straight in and it turns into a cappuccino with a froth and everything. Obviously what helps with boiling times is putting a lid on it, but I've gone and forgot the lid today, so it's gonna stay around the 10-minute mark boil, so yeah, we'll wait. Now the water's boiling, take that off. Flip that off. And extinguish that. Let that cool down for a bit, and that. I don't know if you noticed, but the wind's going this way, you might be able to see it in the steam. So I had the handle of the pot facing the wind, that way the flames never really got it. So the handle's actually really cool. Oh, cappuccino knife. Look at that. It's all frothy and bubbly, isn't it? Want to apologise to anyone who watches this to do with the audio quality. I do have a microphone on its way, so in the future the audio quality should be better. Currently it's just using the audio from the camera or the phone when I'm using the phone, so it's not the best and it picks up everything. So you can probably hear like the trains in the distance and cars on the motorway all the way over there, and yeah, so I do apologise for that, but in the future it will be better because it is on its way. It's a new piece of kit I'm excited to try. I've gone and bought myself the Rabascent 900 sleeping bag. It's huge. I bought the extra large one. I've found one place that was still selling it, so it's taller than I am. It's a little bit wider because I'm a little bit wider, and I've got loads of wiggle room in there, and I've got myself a nice new bivvy as well to go with it. It's a down sleeping bag, so it packs down real nice. And yes, it feels like such good quality. And it's got an I believe it's got an anti snag zip. If it hasn't, it's definitely working. All my others, they snag all the time. It works so smoothly. So I'm really happy with that, and I just can't wait to go try it out. So keep an eye out for a future video on that. Nice cappuccino, and I'm going to get back on the river path. and that's a coot's footprint. That's a common bird around here in the rivers. You see them all the time. So I found myself a burdock. It's a dead burdock. Burdock is quite popular for eating the roots, especially in the first year of its life. It lives for 2 years. The second year it makes a big flower. First year it makes big leaves. It has big leaves anyways, but it makes a lot of big leaves to collect enough energy so the next year it can make a big flower to produce seeds and go on to reproduce. But in the winter we can collect the stems of it and they make good materials. So we can use this for like fire lighting, friction fires, things like that. And they have lots of burrs, as you can see, that stick to you. And eventually they knock off and fall off and start a new life somewhere else. As you can see, the root of it has nothing in it. That root's rotten and gone. It goes woody and it rots away. But the stalk itself is really good for like friction fire lighting. Another thing you can do with the flowering stems of burdock, because it's quite hard, it's woody in structure, you can make little containers from it. There we have it. That's how you make a little pot out of a burdock stalk. A bit of wood, plug. Store little bits in there. You could store like a little sewing kit. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed this walk with me. I've enjoyed it. It's been good to get out and do some crafts and identification. And if you like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.